Hello guys, and welcome back to another part in my analog DIY synthesizer tutorial. Now in this video I'm going to cover exactly what it says in the bottom corner here, the noise generator. Not the most exciting of things to cover, but basically this circuit is very low parts count, and it does work because I've used it and built it. Now I took this design from the same one which is used in the Mini Brute, and you can find this on hackerbrute.com if you want to download a more clear schematic, but I've tried my best to knock one up here before I sort of kind of got into it. As you can see here, we have we're going to need two NPN transistors. Now we can go for something like the general purpose 2N3904s. You can tell the NPNs because if you look on the schematic, the emitter arrow will be pointing downwards as opposed to going up towards this part here, which is the base, middle part base, and that plain side is known as the collector. And we're going to need about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resistors. We can see the values there. We just observe, just have a look. And we're going to need 3 polarized capacitors. Now the polarized capacitors look like so. If we look on the capacitor itself, let the camera focus in a bit. If we can see that stripe, that stripe denotes the negative side, and the other side will be a positive side. So it's important when we look at the schematic and we see that bend, the bend line of the side of the capacitor is the negative side, the other side is the plus. This one here, which is in the gain loop here, is going to be a non-polarized capacitor. It's a very small value, as you can see. It is in the picofarad range. So right, so basically that is the noise generator schematic. So again, op amp here, we can use pretty much any general purpose dual or even a single op amp. I'm going to say stick to dual. Pretty much it uses up exactly the same space on your we'll use it up exactly the same amount of space on your circuit board. You may say, well actually I want to build another noise generator on the other side of that, so you've saved yourself a bit of space already. So that is quite handy, and we can see what is here is tied to earth. Just observe that it's a 22R value, which is 22 ohms, not 22K, which we take to our plus voltage here. And we can actually change the value of this 470K R1 dependent on the gain we want. And also we can change this one here, 10 picofarads. So what we can do is basically this will kind of shelve off or low pass some of our white noise, which is basically very high frequency, contains lots of frequencies, just a mishmash of everything. See if I can bring something up. So if we go over here to our scope, and if we look on my circuitry here, this is the on-off switch for the noise generator, and I've also built in a volume control which goes in with it. I just put a switch in, on and off switch, so you don't have to turn the volume down every single time. It's a bit neat to have both because it gives you a bit of convenience. So let's turn it on and it'll be triggered. If we look on the scope, I'm going to filter out a little bit of that, put a bit of resonance in there, add a little bit of modulation. So yeah, so there we have it. We can see how the white noise generator responds there. So yeah, so like I said, I took this schematic from Hackerbrute, which is from basically it's the same one the Mini Brute uses, and we can see that gives us a nice white noise source, which is very good to sort of use for sound effects, or even kind of making drum sounds, even to accompany sort of leads as well. Just subtly use it to put a little bit of a bright edge on it if you need. Anyway, I'm sure if you're at this stage you kind of know about your own sort of ideas of sound designs. Now I was just having a little tinker around. I was watching another video on something and thinking, would it be an idea to try a small modification? This might work, this might not work. But believe it or not, it did work. Now I'm just going to quickly show you what I did. So basically, we're going to take a potentiometer here, and this will be the middle of the potentiometer, which is I'm going to call 0.2. Let me just turn this diagram around, make it a little bit easier for me, and we'll have 2 and 1, and then we're going to make this 1 mega ohm. It doesn't have to be necessarily 1 mega ohm. Then what we're going to do is tie one side of that pot to earth. Okay, and that's our wiper pot. Now what we're going to do is from this C4 capacitor here, let me just bring this round and take that through. Because it's going through, that's not actually connected to that pin 2, it's actually connected, oh sorry, tell a lie, it is connected to pin 2. Let me just scrub that out. That makes it a bit easier for me then. Yeah, so we go into the non-inverting input side. And we come out of that, and then we'll go into that side of our potentiometer. And if we come off pin 1 side, what I'm going to do now is we're going to put another capacitor in series with it. Now this capacitor can kind of be to your taste. That's pin 1 of the pot. So we come into one side, in the middle with the other. It kind of doesn't matter which way round, as long as one of the input side or the side coming pins 1 and 2 are kind of linked to this side or that side of the pot, and one extreme side is tied to ground, should be good, should be no problems. Now you can kind of change your values on this one depending on what you want. I went for a 0.047, which is about, I think it's about 47 or 47 nanofarads. Could be wrong, could be 4.7 nanofarads, or you could see it by 473 would be on the actual capacitor itself. And we want a non-polarized capacitor. So basically what we're going to do is we're linking this capacitor in parallel with C4 here. So we'll call this our C5 mod cap, and I'll just call this 473. You can go up and you can go down. Now what we're going to do, this is kind of going to give us a kind of pre-filtered, adjustable pre-filtered noise source. So rather than just having the filter cut off do the business for us, we can actually let that happen before we get into the for the filter. So if we look down, that's exactly how I have it wired in here. I have this 1 mega ohm linked, so it's a bit of a mess, and it's linked over there in series with the one from the noise generator. So, and that's my 1 mega ohm potentiometer, which I can use to. So let me just put this mini brute on hold, because it will just give me one hand free if I can find a switch. So that's our full noise. Now if I start to turn this potentiometer, you can see it doesn't actually make it quite, it actually filters out the higher frequency, so it actually acts as like a low pass filter. So we can actually filter out the noise before we even start applying the VCF. And it's starting to bring that. Just take that resonance down. Again, like I said, you can kind of adjust that capacitor value and the resistance value to something of your liking. So again, we have another useful little trick there. which we could use. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video, and I will catch you guys soon. Leave comments, questions if there's any questions on parts, etc., and subscribe, and if you can, please share. Big thanks to everybody who's subscribed and supported the channel so far. More to come from me in the future. Alright, well, take it easy guys, and catch you soon.